Everyone, thank you very much for joining me over here. I'm glad that you landed over here, right? So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this kind of dashboard or report, you may say, which will provide the insight of the total application which was received for loan in the three countries and how the application was approved. I mean, what was the total performance, right? How it performed, whether it was approved, declined, in what proportion it happened, how much was the total amount performed, right? So while I'm building this dashboard, my focus is to derive the insight from the data, as well as explain you some bit of new techniques or functionalities which has been introduced in the Power BI. So just stay with me till the end of this video. It's gonna be really interesting. Okay, before I proceed, let me show you some bit of information over here. So what you see over here on this dashboard is, here you see, oh, if you see over here, it says total number, this much of the total number of application which was received. This is the number of application which were approved, which is approximately 50%. And in this approval, this was the total amount which was given to the customers. Now you can also see it by the customer, by the country. For example, if I click on the Kenya, right, it shows me the approve and decline percentage for Kenya. Here it shows this is nothing but the distribution of this amount by gender and the sector, and this is nothing but the distribution of number of applications which was this, right, the distribution of this thing by sector. All right, and in terms of approval rate as well, what was the approval rate in each of the sector. Okay, so I just hope that it's gonna be you're gonna find it very interesting. So just stay with me, I'm going to show you this step by step. Okay, before I start further, here is the data. I just want to give you a quick walkthrough of this one. In this, you can see there's the country column which contains three country value. Here, this is the column which I have added over here, which will help us to create the slicer, something like this. Okay, where you have the flags. Now this is the description which I have not utilized in my data. Maybe in the upcoming videos you might find me utilizing this some different way. Okay, this is the gender column which will help you understand whether the applicant was male or female, and this is the total loan amount which was given to each of the applicants. Unfortunately, we don't have the application number over here, but because we are going to look at the inside, so that application number will not add much value or much difference. Okay, this again, this is the column which I'm not going to utilize in my dashboard. This sector I'm going to utilize extensively, which simply says what is the sector from which a particular applicant belongs to, and this is nothing but status column, which is very crucial, right? It simply says whether this particular application was approved or declined. If it has 0, that means the application was declined. If it has 1, that means the application was approved. All right, so we have talked enough about the agenda, what we are going to cover. We have talked about the data also. Now it's time to quick start. So here is the new window which I have opened, and I have already loaded the data just to save the time. Now I'll be building this dashboard in a way where it tells the story to you. Okay, so here is the data view that that I just showed you into the Excel file, and I have it over here all. Okay, so I'll quickly take you over here. What I want to know in the first is how many total applications were received. It's as simple as that, right? So to get that, what we need to do is, we don't have any application number column, so I'll simply create a measure called applications received. All right, and into that I'll take count of any of the column which does not have any missing value, right? So here I'm going to say applications received, and nothing but simple a count, and count of, to be on safer side, I'll take count of country. All right, because country column is not missing at all. So this is going to give me the total count of the applications. Now the next thing, I need to figure out whatever the total count was received, how many of them were approved. All right, so that I could get this information, approved applications. So for that, what I'll do is, again, I'll create one new measure. Here I'm going to say approved applications, and here what I'll do is, I'll use calculate function into this. I'll just use this one which we have just calculated, applications received, total applications received. Now, and here I'll put a filter on a status column where it says status equals to 1. This will give me the number of total approved applications. All right, now after this, what I would like to know is what was the total amount which was given to the customers, I mean the approved applications. What was the total loan amount, right? So for that, again, I'll create a new measure. You're gonna bear with me, it's keep on taking some time, right? So I'm going to say amount lent, right? What was the total amount which was given to the customers? Again, calculate, and here I'm going to take sum of loan amount. All right, so loan amount is here, and this is closed. And again, over here I need to put a filter where status equals to 1, right? Because wherever the application was approved, only over there only we gave the bank gave money to the customer, right? So now these three things I have got, right? This will give me the total number of applications received. This will give me total number of applications which were approved, and what was the total amount which was given. Now this is a new card which I'm going to use, right? So I would not require to, if I use this one, I don't need to create, I don't need to create separate card for each of these measures, or to show each of these values. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click each of these three things one by one, and I'm going to get that over here, right? Isn't it simple? Now I'll do a little bit of formatting. Rest of the formatting we will do at the end, or what I'll do is I'll let it be as it is for now. Okay, when I do the formatting for rest of the things, I'll do it for I'll do this for this one as well. Now here I have got the idea, right? Okay, I need to change the sequence also. So application received comes first, then application approved, then the total amount. Okay, now this is what we got. Next thing is we need to find by each of the sector what was the total number of application received and what was the approved rate. So to find total number of applications received, this is what we have got, and to find the approved number of applications, this is what we have got. But next thing which we are going to do is we need to find the percentage of approval. So that is nothing but simply this divided by this. So for that, I'm going to create another measure. I would say approval rate. Let's just say approval rate, right? And for that, I'm going to say approved applications divided by simple applications received. That is it. So this is going to give me that information which I'm expecting over here. All right, let me just have it calculated, and that I'm going to show by stacked chart, right? I mean, what I can say is combo chart also. This is referred to be the combo. This is referred as combo chart as well, right? So on x-axis, I need to show the sectors. I mean, what are the sector where the loan has been given or from where the application was received, and then I need to show, you see this over here, it shows x-axis. So x-axis is common for both. So like, this is combo chart, so it is combination of line chart as well as the stack chart, right? But here I'm going to keep only column and line, no stacking I will be doing. So here it says what is the y-axis value that you want to show for column chart. So that I want to use number of applications received. All right, now the next thing, it says for line y-axis, what is the value that you want to show. So for that, I want to show the approval rate. All right, let's just see what's wrong has happened. Okay, application rate I need to bring over here. All right, we got it. Now a little bit of formatting over here. Rest of the formatting we will be doing in some time. Let me just adjust the size over here. All right, this is going to be enough. Now the next thing which I need to create is, I'll just quickly set the border so that it will be visible all the time. In effects, visual border, that is it. Now after that, which I want to see is by sector what was the total amount given, and by gender, right? So what I'll do is I'll copy paste this chart itself over here, All right, till this part, and let me do this. Okay, now in this chart itself, instead of making it, let me switch this simple to stacked chart. Okay, and into this what I like to do is approval rate I don't need, and application received, number of applications received is this. Instead what I would need to show is amount lent, what was the total amount given, and then in the legends I need to use gender. This is it, right? So it is given over here. Next thing which I am interested in showing is pie chart, which could give me the idea of total decline and approved percentage. So for that what I'm going to do is I'll use this pie chart. All right, and over here I will just say status. Okay, value, number of applications received. All right, so here's what we got. Now it shows me this kind of information. Little bit of formatting which I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the legend I don't need because it is self-explanatory, and the rest of the things I will just show you in some time. Formatting part. Okay, now here I'm just going to set the border so that it could be possible to distinguish it, right? The next thing which so this is the insight which I wanted to derive from this data, right? Next thing which I need to do is, let me or just okay, so before that I'll quickly create the slicers over here. So this is the new slicer which has been introduced in November version of Power BI. If your Power BI is not up to date, please do that. Okay, so I'm going to utilize this one slicer, and into this all that I need to use is first of all country name. So here I got country name. So now you see 3 columns it is showing. So that's something which I would require to adjust. So for that I will go in visuals, in layouts, and over here it shows 3 rows and 3 columns. So what I need to do is I need to make 1 row, and no, 3 row is fine, 1 column. All right, this is done. Now after that what I need to do is go back over here, and in the image segment, here in the image segment I need to add a field which contains the image. So here I have country, right? That's what I would require to add over here. So I'm just going to click on this. Sorry, please bear with me. So here, oops, here itself country flag, so that is added. All right, bingo, it is done right over here. All right, so we are done with this. Now the time comes when we start arranging the formats. So I'll start from this chart. Let's start from this one. Okay, so over here what I need to do is I need to application received and approval rate by sector. So I would just rename it a bit. I'm going to say application received. Okay, I think it is sufficient enough, right? It says application received and approval rate by sector. So this looks good to me. What I'll do is I'll go in title and I'll just try to make a little bit of change over here. I'll just put it in capital letter. All right, and then in the title I'm going to make it in the center alignment. Let's make it a little bold. Done. This is done. Then I will make the adjustment for legends. In the legends I'll just show little bit of correction. I'll make it simply says application received. I'm going to make it number of applications received. Number of applications received. Now it says number of applications received. Now in the format tab I'll go in legends. I'll make it text bold, and where I need to show this is at the bottom center. All right, at the bottom center I want to show this. Now the next part is I need to show the labels over here, right, on each of the side. But before that let me make the axis title bold, right? So over here I just need to make it bold, this one over here. Now this is y-axis, x-axis again, I will just go ahead over here and make it bold. This is bold, this is bold. This is done, this is done. Now this part I need to do, which is for secondary axis. Let me collapse this secondary axis, and in the title I will again go and make it bold. So I think we are done over here. Little bit something like this, and let me just bring it down a bit. Okay, we're good with this. Now on this one, what I need to do is a amount, length by sector and gender. I think it is also very clear, right? So let me just make it by sector and gender. All right, amount, length by sector and gender. Now let me just make it in the center alignment, and this legend thing, for the legends I just need to go on visuals. In the legend I can just show that title I don't need to show, right? And I want to show it at center right over here, right? So that it could give me some space. And data labels, I'm going to enable the data labels. All right, in the data labels I'll just make some changes in the value, and value, let me make white. Is it showing me the value? Yes, now it came up. Okay, the values came up. Now we can see it pretty clear, right? So again I will just make quick adjustments for the labels and titles also, right? So I'll just go over here, I'll make the title bold, again come back over here, and in the x-axis and y-axis I'm going to make them bold. I'm not doing much of the formatting so that we could be more concerned about the insights. Not concerned exactly, but focused rather, I can say, right? All right, its values are not necessarily needed to be bold. Okay, on x-axis as well, I think I need to bold the title instead of the values. Okay, I think this is done. Right, now comes this chart, right? So over here what I'm going to say is sum of status and applications, right? So let me show applications received. I'll just rename this number of applications received, and approval status, right? It says number of applications received and received and approval status. Let me see here, approved versus declined ratio. Okay, that is very, very good, right? So I'm just going to come over here, and in the general title here I'm going to say approved versus declined ratio. That gives a very good sense, isn't it? Now over here in the title itself, let me make it in the center alignment and bold. Okay, now one more thing, you see over here it simply says number of applications which were received and what was the percentage which was approved, right? So that I'm going to do, I'll make a little bit of change where it says approved percentage and decline percentage, right? So what I'll do is I'll come back over here in the data labels. Over here it says, here you see label content, inside that I'm going to choose category percentage of total. All right, this is done. Now inside this value I will look for making it bold. Okay, now the time comes when we do the editing of this slicer. Okay, so in the slicer also what I will do is slicer setting, and more in the images over here, it says fill, I'm going to make it fit, which is most recommended one. Then in the call out part, you see this text which are written over here, that is nothing but the call out values, right? So that I'm going to make bold. Center alignment, I think font size is sufficient enough. And one thing which I need to remove is this heading, that must be over here somewhere. size normal, padding state, buttons not in buttons, in image. I kind of get confused into that part. Okay, so please bear with me. Values, header, labels. Labels, it cannot be in the labels. Callout value, slicer setting, is it in the slicer setting? Shape, nope. For selection, or here, let me just yeah, sorry, title is something which I needed to remove. All right, so this is also done. Now the time comes for this one. Okay, so into this, what I need to do is I'll just make adjustment in the callout value. First of all, center alignment and bold, and font which I want to show is Arial black, right? And the text which is written over here, that I want to put at the bottom. Display units, display decimal, label, I think that's the label. Huh. You see these values which are written over here, those are nothing but labels. Currently that is showing at the top. Now I need to show that at bottom. Okay, I'll make it bold also, right? Now let me just make it a little smaller. All right, this is done. Now what I need to do is I need to show it in two decimal places, the value which I have above, right? Call out value is in this transparency, display unit is this, decimal places I need to show it in two decimal places, or let's just keep it one. That should be fine. Now I need to do the formatting, but before that what I'll do is I'll just change the theme, right? The theme which I had used in my previous dashboard was this one. Yes, I got it. All right, so this is done. Now here I would just like to change the color of the slices, right? Over here, the applications received, no, I think approval status, there is something wrong into this. Applications received, approval status. Okay, okay, so here it says 1 and 0. So what exactly I need to do is, instead of 1 and 0, I need to write them as approved and declined. So for that I will go in data and I'll create a new column over here. New column which will be named as description. All right, I'm going to say status description. Okay, and here I'm going to say if status equals to 0, then say declined, else it is approved. And done. Now let's just come back over here, and instead of status, wherever I have this approval status, instead of that I'm going to use status description. Okay, now it gives you pretty clear, approved percentage is this, declined percentage is this. Now I need to change this color part. Okay, so for that I will go in slices, declined, I'm going to make it red. Very good. Now for approval I'm going to make it green. I think this green is good. Okay, now this is done. So it says simply overall approval percentage is 49%, decline percentage is 50%. Now on this one also I need to show the data labels. So for that again I select this, go on this format your visuals, right? And over here I have data labels, right? This is showing correctly over here. This is also done. Now what else? Little bit of space I would like to give over here, or that if you're finding it difficult, what you can do is come over here, width, little bit of reduction in the width. Okay, this is done. Now over here what I'll do is Or before that, let me do this one. I just want to make it rounded rectangle. Okay, so here in the effects, and I had visual borders, rounded corner. Let me make it little bit of rounding. I think 6 should be fine. Yeah, this much is fine. So now what I'll do is I'll just select this and copy this format, put it over here, and then again from here put it over here. So what has just happened is I did the rounded corner for one chart and just copied the format and pasted it on rest of the chart. So this has done automatically. Now again I know I would require to make some changes over here, again repeat the changes. So that's not to worry. Approval is green and decline is red, and what I need to show is I need to enable the data labels. Okay, I need to hide the legends, and in the data labels, why it's not showing value? It is, let me make it black. Yes, now I got it, because that was white, hence it was not showing over there. Now this is done. This part is also done. Same thing, I need to come over here and make some adjustment for this also. uh, in the image fit I had already done. Position is fine. I think the things are good for image. Now I need to do the things for border. Call out values, are also fine, right? Labels, I don't need the label over there. Buttons, let's come back in the button, and over here the border is given, right? I would just make it a little thick, and a rounded corner I will do. I need to do that in the rounded corner. Okay, I'm just trying to find that. Where is the fill, shadow, glow, accent bar? Button is done. Label, is it in no, that's in shape. Rectangle instead of rounded rectangle. Okay, that is too round. Let me make it this 6. I'll keep it also 6. Now the time comes when we do the formatting for this one. So for this one, again in the shape here I'm going to choose rounded rectangle, right? And again I will keep this also as 6. You can keep whatever you want. This is something which I'm preferring over here, so that's why I'm keeping that. Now I need to change the color. So you see in one card I have 3 colors, so I need to select one by one each of them and then make the changes in the color. So again I select the entire slicer, go in the formatting, and in general, let's say in the effect here I have the color, background color given, but that's not where we need to make these changes, right? So in the visuals, call outs, or in the layout maybe, just bear with me. Cards is something where we need to see. So up here it asks you where you want to apply the setting. So here is this series which has given. So first I want to apply the setting on applications received. What is the setting? So fill color, I want to change it to this color. Done. This is okay. Now for the next one, which is approved application, I want to make it look little greenish, right? So this is done. And then the next one, which is amount lent, that I want to make it like look yellowish, right? So this is also done. Super, we are done with this. Now the last part which we need to add is the text box, and that says loan application approval performance. All right, and the formatting which I need to do is just select this. First of all, I'll adjust it to the window label, and let me just make it somewhere around 60. All right, and then I'm going to choose Arial black. All right, center alignment done. Let me just put it over here. Oh, font size I need to make a little smaller. 40, how is 40? Yeah, I think I can still go to 44. No, 44 is a lot. 42 is fine. Yeah, 42 is going to be perfectly fine. Okay, now the next thing which we need to do is add the shadowing on it, right? So that we could match the format, right? So for that, just select that, go in general effect, and over here you have shadow. All right, so we are done almost. Let me just make it a little up. Good, we are done with it, right? So now if you select any country from here, it is going to show me the data for that particular country only. Now what you see over here is labels, data labels, which are showing, that is in white color, that I'm going to just adjust, do a quick adjustment for that. And in the values I'm going to make it look black. All right, and background I don't need for that. Perfect, now this is done. So let me see if it is similar to what we had over here. Pretty similar, right? It's just the decimal values, I have only one place. Over here it is showing two place decimal values that you can change. And in over here callouts, and in the callouts decimal values you can change to decimal units. No, no, sorry, display units. That was display unit. Okay, now this is done, right? So if I remove this, this is going to give you the same picture as you had in the previous dashboard which we saw initially, right? So I just hope that it was simple for you. Now if, let me know into the comment section what are the things that I missed. There is one thing which I can see which I have missed over here is this label. Let me adjust that also very quickly for you. And in this over here legends, that I'm going to show at the bottom center. No, I did it wrong. In this one I need to do legend bottom center. Yeah, this is done. Now if you find any other than this, if there is anything else which I have missed over here, do let me know into the comment section, or do let me know what are the things that you think we could have done better. But overall we have made it, and it is giving us pretty well insight out of the data. So if you want to see for Kenya, it shows that approximately 3000 applications were received, out of which 2.19k were approved, and this much of the loan amount which was given. This gives us the distribution of loan amount given to each of the sector. What we see is most maximum amount we have given in the agriculture industry and to the male population. Now while you see the approval rate is over here, the highest approval rate is 68%, and that is in housing. But no, that's here 78%, but overall number of applications which we have given is just 40, right? So this is how you can derive the insights out of it, right? And you can make more sense of it. If you see that I have miscalculated some of the numbers, do let me know into the comment section. I'll improve that. Okay, until then, happy learning, wish you very all the best.